Initially, we became franchise owners back in 2007 with a brand called Five Guys Burgers and Fries. Over a 7-year period, all of our restaurants exceeded the annual unit volume of the chain by at least 10%. We were able to sell our business in 2019 for several multiples of our investment. I realized that the experience that I had was unique as a franchise broker. If I was looking into buying a franchise, I would want Marc Magerman as my broker because of the experience he brings to the table versus somebody who hasn't done it before. Hi, I'm Marc Magerman. I am a franchise broker. I work here at Franchise Empire. I'm in charge of the brokerage division of the organization. And my role is to help as many people as possible find their dreams through franchising opportunities. We learn the benefits of being a franchise owner. We learn the things to do correctly. We learned from mistakes what not to do. And we realize that if you find the right franchise and you follow their playbook and you follow their guidance, you can make a very lucrative business for yourself, both profitably and in terms of giving back to your community and realizing all the goals you had. You know, it's funny because I have a bunch of peers in this, it's a big industry, I have a lot of peers and they give you different answers. It's not as much about compensation, it's about the process of getting there. It was just something that anybody who goes through it will look back and be like, what a wonderful experience in my life. And we get to work with people who believe that the next great thing for franchising is for them. So we get to coach and guide them through the process, and it's very rewarding when you get somebody who you're educating, you're giving information to, you help overcome fears and anxieties, and when they get to the finish line and they sign and they become a franchise owner, and they come back and they pat you on the back and they thank you for what you've helped them with, the satisfaction I get there is kind of what keeps me getting on the phone with the next person, because it's just, you're really changing the lives for these people. I think the most important aspect of what I do as a franchise broker is twofold. First, it's making sure you understand the motivations and the goals and the whys behind why your candidates are looking into franchising. I think it's critically important that that starts off correctly, because there may be situations where the candidate you're speaking to is not qualified and they may not be a good franchise owner, and in that case you owe it to them to give them that feedback. And then the second most important part that kind of goes part and parcel is then being able to utilize my expertise, pick through the brands that most closely align with the candidate's needs, goals, and wants, and present those brands. You know, I call it matching. I need to match the franchise with the candidate. Initially, we became franchise owners back in 2007 with a brand called Five Guys Burgers and Fries. I think everybody knows about Five Guys by now. We were able to, with help from the franchisor, with their guidance, grow to 13 restaurants with a 14th on the way over a 7-year period. All of our restaurants exceeded the annual unit volume of the chain by at least 10%. We were able to sell our business in 2019 for several multiples of our investment. That experience helped me understand the benefits of franchising. We also learned a lot of pitfalls along the way about what not to do. I found that being a franchise broker allowed me to take all those skills that I've learned, the good and the bad, and help people in a way I would never have been able to help them without the benefit of the experience that I had. My wife and I are avid bicyclists. We have a couple of dogs, so we spend a lot of time with our dogs. We have a couple of grandchildren. We spend time with our grandchildren. I've been a Patriot season ticket holder for many, many years. And now I'm working with Franchise Empire. I spend a lot of my time talking to candidates on the phone about, you know, helping them find their goals in their lives. Before I got into being a franchise broker, I didn't really know much about the industry. I knew people who were franchise brokers, and by talking to them, I realized that the experience that I had was unique as a franchise broker. Most franchise brokers haven't been franchise owners before. So I feel I can bring instant credibility to a candidate because I've done everything that I'll be asking them to do, or the franchisor will be asking them to do. I've done it, I've succeeded, I've made mistakes. I think it's almost more beneficial that I can share the mistakes that I've made. If I was looking into buying a franchise, I would want Marc Magerman as my broker because of the experience he brings to the table versus somebody who hasn't done it before.